the district must consult with its bargaining units and in this case, the CBOC. This is hardly a consultation, this is a presentation, and so I just want to make certain that in the minutes and wherever else we are being recorded, that tonight's presentation is simply for informational purposes. And there have been a number of issues raised by the public, to which indeed I would want to have an opportunity to hear responses from district staff. I hardly think that hearing matters that are essentially biased on the side of concern, rightly so, would not warrant as well time from the district staff to explain the intent of why a number of things were done, starting from how the agenda might have been changed, as well as to why the inclusion of certain language in a document that someone outside of this group might consider a formal piece of information that would influence decisions by people who indeed have a role and a paid responsibility to make certain that information is out there to the public. So on behalf of those with whom I am supposed to represent, I would like to consider that what we have heard tonight is indeed information that will have us take some actions that will inform all of us a bit better as to why it is that we have to have this bond. We requested as a committee at least 2 months ago information to answer that very specific question so that we could be prepared to learn or to understand what was presented, what might have been presented tonight and what was presented tonight. So I hope that this is not the answer to that question. I certainly do not feel prepared to take action. I don't think that ought to be expected of us. We have reams of paper here. We need to read it, we need to process it. And so, again, just reiterating to all who are out here, we hear you. It's an informational session tonight.
I just want to, Kelvin Love, I just want to confirm, though, that that's really the case, because the requirement is that it's, you meet and consult with the CBOC. We're meeting, we're consulting. Does this fulfill the requirement for the application that's been met?
This does, but of course the district wishes to have input. This constitutes the beginning of a consultation. It's the initial presentation of information to the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee, and the district has asked for input from the members of the committee, which would be included in the materials that would be sent along with the waiver application if delivered. So this is the nature. The consultation of this type, based on the view of previous waivers, was also made. There were also, I don't know who might have been here during that person. Was there actually there was a vote taken?
Yes. Yeah, and it was to the credit of the district in their application, they included the exact number of people who voted for and against.
Well, in any event, the code, the statute requires consultation. It's up to the committee to say what you're satisfied with.
Are we going to vote?
No, we are not.
It's not an action item tonight anyway.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Bill Kelly. I'm glad to hear that you concede it's not an action item, because there's nothing in this published agenda that says anything beyond presentation. It doesn't represent this as being the beginning of a consultation. It's amazing that this is coming on now, and we do not have another scheduled meeting until after the election. I find that to be a very interesting fact. This is another example. I ended up on this committee because people in my jurisdiction were complaining about this very type of thing and asked me to volunteer. So I got a couple of questions here. We see KNN here. And I don't know whether you want to disclose this or not. You guys are involved in a lot of the bond stuff. I'm wondering what you're being paid as a fee and how much you've contributed in campaign funds, campaign donations to members of our present school board. And I would love to know what the hourly rate we're paying for this attorney to be here tonight is.
Well, as you point out that's not actually the topic for tonight, but I would ask you to direct your questions to the district if they want to share the information.
So you're not gonna tell us?
We ask for information, we don't get it.
It's really up to the district to provide it.
I don't agree with you, sir, but thank you very
Point
much.
of order. Mr. Chow?
I actually do have some questions about the presentation. I think the previous comments, oh, this is Peter Chow, by the way. I think the previous comments have been directed toward big picture items, but I just have several questions about the presentation itself. It says here in the presentation that the chart assumes expected growth in the district's bonding capacity, and I'm not sure who to direct this